Hi everyone. This is Brian Kelly. I'm the head water polo coach for Iona University, both men's and women's water polo programs. I'm actually the longest tenured water polo coach in the country on both sides, for men and for women. I don't feel that old, but I've been doing this for a long time. I've also served on two NCAA committees for the men's collegiate national championships tournament, and I am on my last year of a 4-year term. So this is my 8th year on the men's committee for national championships, which is pretty awesome. I was the chairman from 2016 to 2018, and grew up in Chicago. Grew up playing water polo in Chicago through the Chicago Park District, and I started playing when I was. My office is right by the gym here, so I got some people walking past before. So I'm going to shut this door here, but and we just ended practice, so sorry. That's probably my girls walking past. But I grew up playing in Chicago. Started when I was in 8th grade, and played through the Chicago Park District. It was spread throughout the city. It was all over the place. It was pretty neat being able to go all over the place, play in different neighborhoods all throughout the city. And now it's like a little more centralized now in Chicago. But from there, I went to Brother Rice High School on the south side of Chicago, and then I went to Iona College back then. Now it's Iona University, and heard about it through the Christian Brothers, the Irish Christian Brothers, and Edmund Rice schools, and made my way out here. And I took over the men's program in '95, and I started the women's program in '96, and been doing this for a little bit. So Iona University is, we've had a men's team for 42 seasons. We've had a women's team for 30. Last year we celebrated our 30th anniversary of the program. I started the program, so it was obviously pretty special to me. And I was able to take our women to 3 national championship tournaments, which is probably the highlight of my career. We're 2 Division I programs. The men compete in the Northeast Water Polo Conference. Women compete in the MAC. I thought the goal of this video, I'm happy that Dan reached out to me about doing something and sharing some feedback with, for the sport, and helping out coaches, which is part of this, the goal of this drill. It's me being helped out by other coaches to learn new shooting drills. And one of the goals of this is to share some shooting drills that we do at Iona that involve the entire team. You could have 15 people on the team. Obviously, you need 13 for most of them for offense and defense, but 15 people, 20 people, 25 people, you can, and more, and you could add on to the drill however you want to work out the rotations on offense and defense. They're basic, fundamental drills. They incorporate fundamentals, and they keep everybody involved, keeps everybody active. But not only is it fundamentals, but it's also a lot of it's conditioning too. Conditioning drills that you're doing repetitively, one after the other, and I think they work very well for us. Being on the NCAA committee and coaching for as long as I have, I've been a lot of places, and you go to NCAA's, it's great watching. One of the best parts of going to NCAA's and being on the committee is you're there and you get to watch the other teams. Get teams that make it to NCAA championships, watch them practice. So I was a fan of the game. I'm going to these tournaments. I'm watching UCLA warm up, USC warm up, whoever it is. Princeton, Harvard, Fordham, whatever teams are there on the men's side, women's side, and I'm always jotting down what they're doing for their shooting drills. Obviously keep things new and fresh for me and my program. I think that's one of the things that can get super repetitive, especially if you've been a coach for a long time. It's tough to, I'm always trying to create new swim sets. I'm always trying to create new training drills, but the shooting drills, it's like, you really got to work at it because you could be doing the same stuff over and over again. So every time that you introduce a new shooting drill to your team, they get really fired up. That's what the goal of the Zoom is. I'm going to show you 3 things that we do at Iona, and hopefully you like them. Hopefully you use them. Maybe you've seen them before, but yeah, it's good. It incorporates everybody. It keeps everybody going. And I have to apologize first in advance because the drills were filmed on Tuesday, and Tuesday is our most intense weight, strength, and conditioning day. So the guys are in the drills are coming off of a really intense weight session and then a really intense swim session, and so they're dragging a little bit during the drills. But it's the point is learning the shooting drills. So yeah. So if you want to pull up the video on the first one, yeah. If you want to pause it real quick, Kellyanne. So I call this blockers, chasers, and fakers, and it's a shooting drill involves like your entire team really. In this shooting drill, it's a 6-minute clip, and I have each goalie come in. I have 4 goalies, so each goalie gets a minute and a half of straight shooting. If you could see it, it looks like a 6-on-5 on offense, and that's how it's set up. And the people rotate through the 4 and 5 positions. So it looks like a 4-2 6-on-5 offense, but everyone's doing different things. So the drill starts out with a pass. Like there's basically two triangles going on at once. The 4-5 side is the 5 spot on 6-on-5 rotates to the 3 post. 3 post rotates to 6, and then they're out. And then the 4 position rotates to the 2 post, 2 posts to the 1, and then they're out. Everyone has different jobs during the drill. So the drill starts out with the 5 passing to the 3 post, which you see right here. The 3 post has the ball. The 3 post passing over the 2 post to the 1. We do that because we're trying to form good habits and good fundamentals. So most exclusions happen right in front of the goal. Most exclusions happen in the center position. So one of the things that I try to teach my players to do is with this drill this is a learning moment is basically you draw that exclusion in center, and you never know who's looking at you, who is kind of trying to basically not look at you and try to steal the pass that's out. So the first pass is something I always say is the first pass is the most important pass in 6-on-5. So you have to make a safe pass. So we intentionally have the other post try to steal the ball from the other post. So it goes 5 to 4. I'm sorry, 5 to 3 to 1. The 2 post tries to steal the ball. 1 gets the ball, throws it up to 4, and so it throws it up to 5. 5 basically attacks forward, and the person that was passing, the person that was trying to steal the ball, both post players immediately turn around and shot block. And then when the ball is received by the 5, the 6 attacks the 5. So we call it blockers, chasers, fakers, and then you reverse it. So you got to kind of sprint through the drill to make sure that the person that is vacating is there to try to steal the next pass, which is the shooter. So the shooter's at 5, shooter goes 5 to 3, and then shooter should be there to try to steal the pass when it comes from 4-2 to 6. So you want to let that play for a little bit? They're moving the ball a little bit too fast, not letting the other post get there. They pick it up later, and that was too late. They're going a little bit faster than the drill should be. So right now that guy should be at the post trying to steal the ball. We slow him down a little bit, and then this is kind of how it should look right there. Too many drops right now. Like I said, I apologize for the men in advance. They're coming off a really intense practice. So good thing about this drill is it incorporates everybody, keeps everybody going, and it teaches you basic shot blocking fundamentals and funneling fundamentals. So you're trying to funnel the ball to the goalie. Here we're slowing it down a little bit, trying to re-explain everything. So these guys, their Hollywood debut is a little bit nervous in their Hollywood debut here, being on camera. But that's the drill, 2 to 6. to 4. And there's different things you're trying to teach in this drill. You're trying to move as a shooter at 4 and 5 and create shooting lanes, create catch and shoots. And you saw the last guy right there, take it, fake, walk in, try to close the gap between him and the goalie and the shot blockers. Pretty cool drill that I've been doing forever. And yeah, this guy can move in. It forces the shot blockers to get aggressive. It forces the shooter to attack open water. And it, makes everybody really hustle. And it's really good for not, obviously shooting drills are super important for the shooters, but it gets everybody to do the, proper funneling for shot blocking on the 2 posts and making them, funnel the ball to the goalie. The goalie has to make that save right there. So, yeah, blockers, chasers, fakers. You could kind of mix it up however you want to do it. With you could change the way people rotate, but this is pretty good, especially when you slow the ball down, pass over the defender. And for this drill, from watching it, I'd like to see the shooters taking up on water, moving in more. I'd like to see the shooters moving away from the oncoming ball hawking defender in this. But it keeps like I said, it keeps everybody involved. And I have 4 goalies on my team, so they're each taking turns and doing different. You're doing them in half straight and moving out. Different things you can do during this is, if you want to keep your goalies going, you could have them do heavy ball sets in the corner while they're waiting to get in the goal. Jugs while they're waiting to get in the goal. Weight belts while they're waiting to get in the goal. You can add on to the conditioning part of this, and you can have like the guy who attacks out to the shooter, roll spin, go the shooter, and take off and counter out. One of the goalies that's out of the drill can throw a lead pass, and you could have a 1-on-no breakaway on the other side of the pool. There's a lot of different things you can do to build off of this drill. So it's good to see this on video, because I got too many guys that are floating on balls right now. We gotta fix that up. You want to get to the next one now? All right. So I call this communication drop. It's a defensive drill, communication drop drill, and communication drop shooting. So we set the course up 1, 2, 3 at the point, 4, 5, 6 in center. There's an X1, X2, X3, X4, X5, and it's kind of it's a modification off of a shooting drill that I stole from my friends in San Diego called the drill. And it's a way that we work our defenses and we work our communication drops. So obviously this kind of takes away the whole press defense. You're worried about what happens after you lose, your center defender loses their position in a full press and has to rely on his teammates to come help him. So the drills, it starts out with the ball being at either 3 or 4. It really doesn't matter. The X3 or X4 defender is there and they're allowing the ball into center, allowing the ball to be kicked out to the perimeter. When the ball is kicked out the perimeter, we go live. Okay, and when we go live, the defense has to respond to what the center defender is calling. Center defender is calling a specific drop. They're calling 2-3-4. They're calling a 3-4 drop. They're calling a 4-5 drop. They're calling an M gap. If there is a foul anywhere around the perimeter and our center defender can get back out, the center defender is calling full press, and the goalie is repeating what the center defender is calling. So it gets everybody to communicate. It gets everybody to listen to their, two of the most important people on defense. Obviously, number 1 is the goalie, and number 2 is the center defender. Center defender is calling where his help should come from. The goalie is responding to that and reiterating the center defender's command. And the perimeter defenders have to adjust to it. It's good because it changes. So the center defender is basically deciding what drop he's going to do when the play starts. The ball comes in from 3 or 4, goes into the center. Center just kicks it out. Nobody interrupts the pass in. Nobody interrupts the pass out. That then it starts. And the center defender is going. You're basically having to respond to communication. So the center defender is going to purposely put themselves on the 1-2 side and call a 4-5 drop. Put themselves in this situation, having the center basically at a position where they're facing the 4. So they're calling a 3-4 drop right now. Sometimes it's M, and you got to respond to that, and then the X2 and the X4 got to get into the gaps to split. It's just timing. It's all responding to commands, and everything's in a split second. The way this game moves, the ball moves faster than the players, so you got to be really quick to get yourself in a position to shot block, and get on your legs and help out your center defender and help your goalie. So hopefully I did a good enough job of explaining that to everybody, and you can let this roll for a little bit. And if you have volume, you could hear my center defender calling out the drop. He called the 3-4 on this one. There was that backdoor drive. That pass he's inside water, no question about it. That should be a turnover. In this, we run it over and over and over again. You could also obviously have this drill to where there is a counter out of it. But we're just trying to get reps, as many reps as possible in half court settings. That one looks good. That's a penalty. So that drive looked good. So there's a lot of different things this drill sets up, and obviously you're working on fundamentals. You're working on shot blocking and good shot blocking stature and position, being up in the water, having your shot blocking hand in front of your face, and being imposing. It requires the offensive players to move to create shooting lanes for catch and shoots, working on your fundamentals. One of the lost arts, an old school coach like me, that I complain about all the time to my teams, is the catch and shoot. Everybody wants to catch and fake. The catch and shoot's still the way to go. Everybody that's watching this film, just if you can catch it and throw it where the goalie's not before the goalie can get there, just do it. Way too many fakes going on here. So you're working offensively, trying to create shooting lanes. You're also working offensively to try to drive the drops through, which needs to happen more right here. You can go anywhere. You can take a 4 across. You can take a 3 across. You be creative. Obviously, water polo is so much more exciting with this, with this box, and people be able to go back door, where our lefties set up right there. Really extends the defense, and allows a player like that to just walk into 3 meters and rip the ball. Obviously, that's some bad defense on that player right there. That person has to close. And not let the offensive player walk in that much. So. But yeah, we call this communication drop defensive shooting, and it's you can work your rotations in however you want. I like to have my players rotate opposite. So we send in an offensive player. The offensive player goes into 1 goes to 2 goes to 3 goes 4 goes to 5, and 5's out. And the defensive players will go X5, X4, X3, X2, X1, and out. Sometimes, right now, I'm just having our primary center defender guard our center. It's also good to, obviously, you're going to have a lot of players that get stuck getting posted up or get stuck having to defend that are non-centers. So you can work this drill to have all 6 defenders rotate every spot, so everybody in the pool is guarding the primary center at some point or another and get stuck there. That's when you really need to help the center defender, and everybody needs to be on point with their drops and their shot blocking lanes. So, I guess we can move on to. There's, like I said, there's things you can do in this drill to build off of it. You can run transition out of this. You could run different subs, sub every 2 possessions, sub every 1 possession, sub every 3 possessions, however you want to do it. Right now, for the sake of this, we didn't sub a lot. We just wanted to get the video down for this. But normally in a normal practice, I'll have the offensive players will be on the 1-2 side, subbing in, rotating around. Defensive players will be on the 4-5 side, subbing in around. So you're matched up against somebody different every time. Perfect. So if you want to get to our next shooting drill, and this is obviously 6-on-5, 5-on-6 right now. That's a turnover. So this is 7. So I call this volleyball 6-on-5. And in this concept, you're scoring volleyball style. So the offense is playing. The offense scores a goal. It's 1 point. Defense gets a stop. It's 1 point. And I add a 2-pointer for a couple different plays. 2 points is a shot block, and you gain possession of the ball. The defense gains possession of the ball. For the offense, it's a rebound goal is 2 points. So we generally do games to 7 or games to 11, and the games to 7 move really quick. Everyone stays pretty focused and excited. The games to 11 sometimes get a little long, and sometimes people lose focus a little bit. But games to 7 are the way to go, in my opinion. And you have multiple games, and whatever you want to do with the games after, you could do a sprint set for a team that loses. You can do the other team that loses sets up the pool, whatever it is. There could be consequences, but they get pretty fired up for it, and I'm encouraging them to celebrate and enjoy the point they score, and especially when it's 2 points. So you get a lot of guys that are super fired up, and when a shot block happens, they get the ball. The entire team is all fired up on defense. Person gets that rebound and scores that rebound, that garbage goal. In some sports, they call it a garbage goal. In hockey, they call it a greasy goal. Whatever it is, person right in front of the goal gets it and scores. I encourage these guys to get fired up about that. It forms really good habits, especially with the people that are attacking the goalie on a shot. You get the defenders to repeat, and get to the point where I got to block this person out, or he's going to attack my goalie. You get the goalie in a position where I really have to get the ball out of the front of the net and get it to out of harm's way the second I make a save or pull it down or whatever it is. So it forms good habits that way. You could do different things. Like I said, I liked in these drills just for this. I'm not subbing a lot. I actually defensively we're subbing, I think, every 2 possessions on this. But if you're doing games of 7, you can have the rotation. You have seven offensive players all play one time, 7 defensive players all play one time. Then you could have them go against each other, offense, defense, 2 games, and then sub people in a huge wave. But you can also set this drill up where it's a person's coming in one at a time. When I do defensively, I usually go ejection area to X5, X5, X4, X4, X1, X1, X2, X3, and X3 goes out, and that way everybody's playing defense. And you see somebody summing in right now. That's kind of how we do it. So so these are and you could change this drill too. I mean, you could build transitions off of this and go from there. But just a couple of drills that we like to run at Iona, and hopefully they're useful to some coaches out there. See if anyone has any questions for me.
Yeah. Start off, what question is how do you usually structure these into your practices? Do you spend a lot of time on them? Is it like the focus of practice, or is it just part of practice?
Oh, it's part of practice. I mean, it depends on where we're at in the week. generally you're playing games in college. I mean, this weekend we have a game Friday. We have 2 games on Sunday. So we needed to get all this in Monday. I'm sorry, Monday was an off day for us. We need to get all this in Tuesday, Wednesday, which was yesterday, today, and tomorrow is going to be a complete walkthrough. And Fridays generally we have a game Friday night, so we'll be doing a lot of film. So for this, like I said, this was filmed on Tuesday, and Tuesday is our hardest day. So we had a 1 hour weight session, and we had our major swim set of the week, and we also did legs, and then we passed, shot. We do this. And like that shooting drill could be done at any point of the week, really. The blockers, chasers, or fakers, we could do it whenever. The communication drop drill is something I like to do before we scrimmage. So we're calling out defenses, and guys are reacting to what their center defender is calling and where the help is coming from. And then the obviously 6-on-5 drill is pretty easy. You can do that at any point of practice. That's something we could do tomorrow before a Friday game. We get a lot of reps in 6-on-5. Good thing about the volleyball shooting drill that we do and the 6-on-5 volleyball shooting drill is it's another drill where your goalie's calling the defense now, and goalie keeps changing the defense. So you work the different defenses you're running, 1-2 storm, 4-5 storm, full storm, whatever it is, house packed, whatever defenses lingo that the coaches are calling out, whatever defenses you are running, your 4-1, whatever it is, your goalie is calling it, people are reacting to it. It's good for me because goalie calls something and somebody doesn't react. I know that person's could be a problem, could be a liability when it comes to your goalie calling something in a game, and it shows you who's focused, who knows your playbook, and allows you to obviously run different things quickly, one after another, and see who can react to them the best. So it's not just reacting to it, it's getting it on film, seeing like who's in the right shooting, who's in the right shot blocking position, who's doing their job. So the drill is the drill with the communication drop shooting is something that's it's like game speed. It could be you're playing 6-on-6. So there are drops, so it's not intense as like a full press practice. I don't know if you could be able to run that communication drop drill the same way with the pass in, pass out, let it happen, and then you go press. I don't think it would work like that, but you're getting a lot of reps one after another, and I think it can get physical. So those are things you kind of want to do it early in the week. The blockers, chasers, fakers, you can do it anytime during the week. You can do it game day. The 6-on-5, 5-on-6 volleyball, you can do game day. That can happen at any point. So, but whenever you're going 6-on-6 playing, even if it's half court, you're allowing a pass in, allowing a pass out, it's physical. So, that's something we would do probably, a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, maybe a little bit on a Thursday. We wouldn't do it on a Friday before a Saturday game. That's good. That means I explained everything pretty well.
Yeah, there we go. Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. I love getting to places all throughout the country and seeing what other coaches are doing. I think it's super important that you keep your practices fresh as a coach, and you incorporate new things all the time. And best way that you can do that is by watching what other teams are doing during warm-up, watching what other teams are doing in their shooting drills before a game, watching what other teams are doing in their cool downs even, seeing what works for you. So